Greetings, fellow Gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about Death of a Unicorn from writer-director Alex Scharfman. This movie is an A24 film about a lawyer played by Paul Rudd who, along with his daughter, are on their way to the lawyer's boss's vacation home, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
In the middle of this forest.
Fucking vacation estate.
Yes, it's like a full-on mansion. It's a huge property. It's big because he is a corporate lawyer and his boss is rich as all hell.
He's the guy from How to Get Ahead in Advertising and who plays the villain in Hudson Hawk.
Correct. So he's on his way to his boss's estate when along the way, he hits an animal in the middle of the road. A goddamn motherfucking unicorn. A baby unicorn, to be precise. And as a result of this, he ends up inadvertently pissing off Mommy and Daddy Unicorn, who are these massive beasts that wreak havoc upon this estate once it is discovered that their baby is inside of it.
Meanwhile, they have discovered that the blood of the unicorn is an amazing cure-all. It cures everything.
Yup, including his boss's cancer.
Yeah.
Which leads to his boss and his boss's family deciding that they're going to capitalize on the blood and the body parts of the unicorn because they're rich fucks.
Yeah.
This movie is a combination of two of my favorite kinds of movies. The first one is the monster film, naturally.
Yeah.
This is a
naturally,
monster.
it is a monster movie.
This is a monster movie, but it is also an Eat the Rich film. A movie that is very much on the nose with its social commentary about how rich people are bad and they need to be eaten.
Yeah, the Jennifer Ortega character is great.
Yes.
Because she is a very self-aware Gen Z type person.
Yes, she is the rebellious Gen Z teenager. But despite being the rebellious teenager, she is also, mythologically speaking, the maiden.
Yeah.
The innocent maiden.
She's the innocent. Yeah.
Which becomes important as this movie goes on because this movie goes all in on the magical properties of the unicorn as opposed to just being about like a creature that looks like a unicorn and stomps around.
Yeah.
It actually has magic powers.
Yeah. They actually, rather than shying away from like the weirder, like mythological aspects of the unicorn, like, oh, you need a pure-hearted maiden in order to calm it down and things like that. No, they go full in on it.
They go all in. They do not shy away. They break out some old ancient tapestries to talk about the myth of the unicorn.
Yeah.
And the unicorn's gonna do everything they talk about in that myth over the course of this movie. It's pretty fucking awesome. The movie is not afraid of being what it is, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, if you couldn't tell by the fact that Paul Rudd is in the lead of this movie, well, technically Jenna Ortega is, but Paul Rudd is the co-lead in this movie.
Yeah.
This is very much a horror comedy. It's very tongue-in-cheek. It wears its humor on its sleeve. It does not take itself too seriously.
Yes.
The rest of the cast are also freaking hilarious. I forget the guy's name, but the guy from Barry plays the butler in this, and he's one of the best characters in the movie, in my opinion. The two scientists who show up in this movie, they're really good.
Yeah.
Probably the guy who steals the show, the rich guy's son.
Yeah, the shithead rich guy's son.
He's the guy who played
Adam Warlock.
Yeah, he played Adam Warlock. He is great as just the smug dude bro who thinks that he is Bill Gates or Steve Jobs.
Yeah, whereas he's not even those guys.
No, he is just a charlatan. He's a con man.
Yeah.
But he talks fast and he likes to steal ideas from smarter people, so it makes him seem smart, even though he's clearly a dumbass. So yeah, this movie delivers everything it promises on the tin. It's really funny. The monster effects are pretty great in the movie.
Yes.
And it is gory as all hell. People get disemboweled by these unicorns over the course of this movie.
Yeah.
And it doesn't shy away from it at all. It gets pretty gnarly, which is awesome. The other thing I love about this movie, even though it's a horror comedy, the one thing the movie takes utterly seriously is the emotional connection between the father and daughter.
Yeah.
That is played very sincerely. And it's genuinely like moving, like you're actually feeling the emotions as opposed to just laughing at all the circumstances that's happening. movie.
Yes.
And so I thought they actually had a really good balance of that in this movie. It feels like this could have been one of the monster scenarios in Cabin in the Woods.
Oh yeah. like the unicorn in this movie is the unicorn from Cabin in the Woods.
Like they arrived at the Cabin in the Woods estate and the unicorn is what was drawn. That's what this movie feels like. It's even got a similar tone.
Yes.
To Cabin in the Woods. So if you like movies like Cabin in the Woods, you'll probably really enjoy this movie. If you like movies like Ready or Not, movies that are very funny, but also very much about how rich people suck, you'll probably enjoy this movie too.
Yeah.
I believe we should probably move on to the spoilers.
Yeah, let's move on to the spoilers. Because it's a comedy, it's hard to actually like get into the twists and turns and make it hit the right way to entice you to see the movie because the twists and turns are funny.
Yes, absolutely. So Death of a Unicorn is currently available in theaters. If you want to check it out, you're going to have to go check it out in theaters. And I highly suggest you do so because this movie is a underrated gem that I think is going to become one of those cult classics for people as time goes on.
I am surprised the movie's not doing better, actually.
Well, there's a lot of movies out right now.
Yeah.
People
true.
are being drawn in different directions. Like when you got movies like Minecraft coming out, like
right.
know.
But it's not for trying though.
No. It's a little engine that could. And I think as more people get the word of mouth for this movie, I think they'll enjoy it when they see it.
Yeah.
And with that said, let us move on to the spoilers so we can talk about how people get disemboweled in this movie.
Yeah. All right, so because they're rich fucks, they're not going to just use the blood for its palliative things.
No.
They start to become decadent and overindulgent. Like eating its flesh.
Yes.
Grinding down its horn to snort it.
Yes,
absolutely.
It becomes a drug, it becomes a food source, and it becomes the thing that they're going to use to squeeze money out of other rich people.
Yeah.
Because they realize they only have so many of the unicorn. They have the one unicorn, and they don't even realize yet that they're going to be attacked by the other two unicorns until that starts happening. And when they have the one unicorn, it's just like, well, there's only so much of this thing. We can't mass produce it.
Yeah.
So let's invite all the rich people we know with health problems and try to entice them to pay out the ass for a piece of the unicorn.
Yeah.
Also because they can't recreate the properties of the unicorn because it's magic.
Yeah.
Like the scientists are sitting
flat
there.
out. They're like flat out. We don't understand how it works. This should not even exist.
Exactly. The scientists are trying to figure it out, but it's magic. They can't. Eventually, the mother and the father start arriving and attacking people at this estate. Originally, they have like bodyguards that fight it. Like
bodyguards with like machine guns, but like bullets don't really work.
Yeah, there's a sequence that very much feels like a sequence straight out of James Cameron's Aliens. They even have like this EKG meter detecting the radiation coming from the horns. So as the unicorns get closer and closer, you very much get a similar effect to that scene in Aliens when the aliens are starting to surround them inside that bunker. It's a very similar thing going on in this movie, except they're out in the woods. So that shit's pretty fucking awesome.
Actually, my favorite chase bits are when the unicorns get inside the house.
Mm-hmm. Yup.
It reminded me a lot of that John Mulvaney joke. There's a horse!
Yes!
Loose in a hospital!
It's like that John Mulaney joke crossed with the raptors in Jurassic Park.
Yes. Yeah.
Because another aspect of these unicorns is they're not dumb. They're very intelligent.
Yeah. They are probably smarter than people.
You know, they can figure out how to open doors and shit like that. And in fact, over the course of the movie, they even try to trick the humans by pretending to be injured or dead.
Yeah.
On multiple occasions.
Oh, can't go on. Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. It's freaking great. It turns out the one thing that can stop these things is a pure-hearted maiden, which is represented by the Jenna Ortega character.
Yeah.
She can actually pacify the creatures. She will approach the creatures, and just like something out of a fairy tale painting, they will just like kneel before her and like lay on her lap.
Yeah. This is where it turns into magic.
It's just it's straight up
magic. She just approaches them, and they're just like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna lie on your lap here and take a nap.
You get the impression that on some level, the unicorns can stare into your soul and see your true self.
Yes.
And she is the one person, even compared to her father, who's also a bit of a piece of shit in a different way, who is actually a good person amongst this entire crowd.
Yes.
With the exception of maybe the butler, but the butler is smart enough to not directly confront the unicorns.
Yeah. He's like, I ain't taking that chance.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
There's some great gore scenes in this movie. Perhaps my favorite is when the mom, who is just such a piece of shit, a weaselly piece of shit, gets disemboweled by one of the unicorns on top of a pool table. And she's like trying to get her son to like shoot the oxygen tank that's near her so it'll blow them both up. But he can't do it because he wants the unicorn so that he can capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Literally, her entrails are just pulled right out of her stomach. The characters I probably felt the most bad for was probably like the doctor.
The doctor, yeah. You're like, yeah, he was neutral.
Like, okay.
He wasn't evil.
He was working for the bad guy.
Yeah, he was definitely working for the bad guy.
But he was always pushing back on the bad guy. But he still ultimately would go with what the bad guy wanted.
Yeah. That's what I mean by he was like in good, evil, neutral, he was neutral.
He's a great example of someone who's working for the evil person, but is just trying to get by.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a true believer like his son or his wife.
Yeah. And then you have the other doctor who almost makes it out. Makes a crucial mistake.
She gets a gnarly fucking death where she's just ripped apart by the unicorns.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking great.
Like, oh, I'm gonna grab a leg, make a wish.
She represents a different type of person. If the doctor is the guy who's just trying to get by, keep his head down, not make waves, she's the one who's also kind of in it for herself at the same time because she's willing to fuck over her boss, but she's also very selfish about it. So it's like, I'm going to fuck over my boss by stealing the unicorn horn for myself so that I can now capitalize off the unicorn.
Yeah.
So the unicorns still have a reason to fucking rip me apart.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not with the evilest person in the room.
Correct. Like, and that's another thing. Like, a lot of the unicorns, like, magical, it comes from the horn. Okay, not a hard conclusion to come to. They cut the horn off of the baby unicorn and put it in like a specimen tank a la like frickin' Jurassic Park.
And this becomes important because the unicorns will kill anyone who has the horn because it wants to get the horn back. These unicorns, they don't just heal other people, they also can completely heal themselves.
Yeah, but they have to have the horn.
So the baby unicorn they hit would be resurrected with enough time, but they keep killing it and they keep taking it apart and they cut off its horn, and without its horn, it can't complete the, resurrection process.
Right.
So the mother and father want to get the horn back so they can put it back on their baby and it can resurrect as it's supposed to.
Yeah, and of course, this is one of the little metaphors of the fucking movie, which is the rich people are always talking about like the scarcity of the resource and all the jazz about like, oh, we got to be smart and blah, blah, blah. But none of them figure out that the resource is renewable because the unicorn constantly resurrects itself.
Yeah, and they, in fact, through their own actions, make it unrenewable.
Yes.
Yeah, they destroy even that aspect of it.
Yes.
If they were truly smart and evil, they could have figured out that they could resurrect the thing and just keep draining it and have an unlimited supply of its blood to cure cancer and shit.
Yes.
Every single one of them deserves to die. Let's just say that right out flat. Like, they all fucking do.
Yeah. One of my favorite lines in the movie is actually Jenna Ortega's, when she's talking to Paul Rudd, her dad. Jenna Ortega, mom, aka Paul Rudd's wife, had died. She dies of off-camera itis.
Yes.
Like some.
It's implied to be some sort of cancerous thing.
Yeah.
Because it's brought up when they're talking about the cancer cure and all that stuff.
Right. But ultimately, they don't really know. They don't even tell us it was like leukemia or something.
Yeah, we don't know the specific one.
Yeah. The Paul Rudd character's been sucking up because he's trying to make sure his family has access to this thing.
As well as to the fortune.
Yeah.
Because he is basically going to be put in charge of the entire family's like money. And if he's put in charge of that, then he is going to be basically set for life financially.
Yes. Yeah.
And so he's doing everything in his power to not rock the boat, kind of like the scientist guy is doing.
Yeah. Favorite line is that he's like, if we had something like this when, your mother was dying and Jenna Ortega just shoots back, Dad, they would never let her get anywhere near it.
Exactly. Like their first fucking plan is to fucking give it to the rich people. Like, that's it. Like, hoard it for the rich. Like, screw the poor people.
Screw poor people. Who fuck cares?
And the ultimate irony is that all the people that are sucking up to the rich person are also going to be screwed in the end.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because they don't care about you. They just use you and they squeeze every bit out of you they can. Then they discard you. you. Another magical conceit in this movie is that Jenna Ortega has a direct connection to the unicorns because she touched the baby unicorn's horn.
Yeah.
And basically got to see the afterlife. It's kind of
Yeah. She sees like the cosmos and everything.
And through that connection, she kind of knows when the unicorns are nearby and can kind of sense the danger, but she can also sense when they're being injured. They cut off the unicorn's horn and she like literally keels over in pain. And as a result of this, through the connection with the unicorns, at the very end of the movie, the ultimate bad guy, the son,
final villain,
ends up killing her dad. The unicorns take pity on her and resurrect the dad along with their baby.
Yeah.
An act of mercy, because like, okay, all right, we have this connection with you. You're the maiden, you're pure of heart, you love him, and you gave us back the horn so that we can have our baby. All right, fine, we'll resurrect your dad even though he's a piece of shit. Like,
yeah, we'll give him another chance. Give him another chance.
I did like that small little twist at the end when the cops arrive and there's no unicorns and they just see the two of them sitting next to all these dead bodies and immediately arrest the two of them.
Yes.
Because I was like, well, of course, what else were they going to do? Like,
yeah. All right. For once, I can't blame the cops for what they did.
Like, what does it look like? You think they're going to believe the story about giant unicorns stomping throughout the mansion?
Yeah, which they tell them anyway, because they're like, fuck it.
And then you get this beautiful, ambiguous ending. To be honest, this one isn't totally ambiguous, but they're being taken away by the cops. And as they're driving away, the cop is like scolding them, like, unicorns, really? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. You're not going to believe what they're trying to tell me here, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden the unicorns are galloping next to them and then knock them off the road, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And the idea is that they're helping them escape from the car, but because the movie ends with the car crash, you honestly don't know if anyone survived at the end.
Yeah. And there's no after credit sequence.
There's no after credit sequence, so like the characters could have easily have died or have gotten away with that ending. So that's what I mean by it's ambiguous, but it's also not, because the implication is they're helping them, but
yeah, it's heavily implied that they're just helping them escape.
But I really liked that.
Yeah.
Death of a Unicorn is a fun fucking flick, and I highly recommend it. Do you have any final thoughts?
I really liked the fake tapestry that they made that's based on the real one. But they're like, but turns out it's only part of a tapestry. And they remake this whole extra part of the tapestry, which basically foreshadows the entire movie.
Yeah. It's like the unicorn's literally disemboweling the people that killed the unicorn and took it, and it's just fucking glorious. And it's like in ye old painting style.
Yeah.
The unicorn just eating like soldier stomachs and shit.
Man, that ought to be a poster.
Yeah.
You know?
I would totally kill to have one of those tapestries, the one with all the unicorns like disemboweling people, and to frame that and put on all.
I know. It'd be beautiful. So cool. It'd be so
freaking beautiful. So, my fellow Gorehounds, if you want a movie that is both pro-unicorn and anti-rich people, then Death of a Unicorn is the movie for you. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, where can they find you, Count Jackula?
Well, you can find me here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every week. So how about you?
Y'all know me, I'm the Horror Guru. I'm available on various social media platforms, but these days I primarily use Blue Sky, so follow me on there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages, and remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way, but we will certainly accept more. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, if you made it this far into the video, then I want you to comment below. Be sure to comment below using the hashtag #SnortTheHorn. Hashtag #SnortTheHorn. That way I know. That way Jack knows. That way the whole world knows that you are probably going to get killed by the mommy and daddy unicorn, but hey, at least you got a hell of a high out of it. Anyway, my fellow Gorehounds, peace out, and we'll catch y'all later.